Oh yeah, this can be a real quick video just going over how stats work in Uma Musume because people like the game obfuscates it and people don't really seem to understand what they're actually doing. So we're just going to be going over that very quickly. So first things first, we've got a little chart here, and this is just a rough estimation of an Uma speed throughout a race. So we have the first leg here, second leg, third leg. So what's happening in the first leg? She's accelerating to her target speed. Honestly, this should look a bit more like rather than it just being like a flat line here, she'll probably like reach it a bit sooner and then go like that. So what determines this is power. So the more power you have, the steeper this becomes, and you reach your top speed sooner. So more power, good, right? Because you can see here all the extra distance, like this area that we've gained is extra distance. So what we really care about though is this final part. What is happening here? So this, as soon as we reach the third part of the race, our Uma begins something called her final spurt. And her final spurt, she will begin to accelerate up to her target speed, and then she will attempt to maintain that speed for the rest of the race, assuming she has enough stamina. If she doesn't have enough stamina, then something bad's going to happen. So what happens if we don't have enough stamina? So instead of starting our spurt right when the third leg begins, it's actually going to get delayed. So let's say we just don't have enough stamina, and now the Yuma's like, okay, I've got enough now. Now she's going to start accelerating, and as you can see, look how much distance we've lost just by not accelerating as soon as we could. So this is why you always want to be stamina capped. Ideally, you want to be a little bit over stamina, just in case you get debuffed and you lose stamina. And it's also why straight away recovery is not a great skill because it tends to proc here, and we need stamina before the third leg. So swinging maestro will proc here, will proc here. That's why it's the best skill. The pace chaser skills like recovery tend to proc in the middle of the race, so they're good because any stamina recovery after this point is not useful. Like unless let's say you had enough, nice nature comes in, and then suddenly you don't have enough stamina, your speed will do that basically, and your horse just dies. So always have enough stamina. Always have enough stamina. So let's talk about speed real quick. So what is speed doing? So speed is affecting how high this line is. If we have more speed, this line will be higher. So assuming we had perfect stamina and more speed, our target speed in the finale will be higher. See that? And what affects this is our speed stat, the distance of the race. So longer races, you go a little bit slower. Sprints go really fast at the end, and also what style you're on. So front runners have the smallest bonus to speed in the end phase, while end closers have the highest, which is why speed is really, really important on them. So let's talk about what is power doing here. So power determines how steep this is, right? So if we have more power, we'll accelerate to our goal speed faster, which, as you can see, gains us distance. However, it is always more important to have more stamina than have more power. Let's assume we don't have enough stamina, but we have a lot of power, and so we do our spurt late and we start accelerating from here. Well, now we're actually behind the guy who had more stamina but less power because he just started sooner. So that's why power is important, but it's not as important as making sure you hit your stamina cap. You always need to be hitting your stamina cap, or you lose so much. This is the final part of the race. If you have the same speed, which most people are speed like at 1200, like if this is 1200 and both our Umas have 1200, this the stamina one wins, right? Because this the stamina one accelerates sooner, and then the power one has to wait all the way here, and then he finally gets to start running. And it's close, but the stamina one's going to win. And if they're going the same speed, you're never going to catch them. So, basically, to go over it, speed determines your goal speed during this part of the race. Power determines your acceleration, how fast you accelerate. And stamina determines how fast you get your final spurt. You want your final spurt to be here always. You never want to delay your final spurt because it will just lose you the race. Okay? Now they do some other stuff. Power, for example, makes you go faster around corners slightly. Helpful, but it's not really the big deal. This is kind of like the overview of what the stats are actually doing, because a lot of people just think that speed increases your speed throughout the entire race. It doesn't. If that was the case, your 1200 speed front runner, for example, would just pull away from all the other Umas throughout the entire race, and that just doesn't happen. They actually have a goal speed that's determined by the race and by their style. Speed really is doing its work here. So that's why speed is really important. As you can see, base speed, very good. Final leg speed, way bigger. Max final spout speed, way bigger. So speed is doing most of its work here. Okay. And so when people say power sometimes helps with stamina, what they're on about is they're on about when you're trying to accelerate past other Umas, but that's not really included in this chart here. So as you can see, just get enough stamina. That's the most important thing. Get your speed up so that you have a nice high speed, and then get some power. Shorter races, power is more important because you won't have as much time to get to your speed. While on a long race, doesn't matter as much. Like I can kind of show you that. So you can see here if this race like ended here, no one's beating this power guy, right? So just remember that. Longer the race, more important stamina is. The shorter the race, the more important power is. Always try and get as much speed as possible. I hope this helps anybody who's been confused about what the stats are actually doing to their Umas. Um, yeah, and if you like the video, uh, make sure to share it around to any of your friends that are confused. Thank you.